I don't know where else to film this, but from maybe the deepest, darkest place in the basement, my little shitty corner shower, that was just maybe the most gut-wrenching 4 p.m. slate I can remember. We make the trade, everything's looking good. We get the A.J. Brown game. We get Jordan Addison to go off. We get a lot of things to go our way. We go into the 4 p.m. slate as like at one point we get so much from Jaden Daniels and like Ladd McConkey's doing decent, and we're like 90% favorites over Sexy P for the longest time because like Bo Nix is shitting the bed and like the rest of Kamani Vidal is doing nothing, and just like holy shit, Bo Nix had like 3 points at halftime of that game. Bo Nix ends up with 40 fucking points, and then Jaden Daniels goes down, and like all of a sudden I go from a 90% favorite, which like obviously who gives a shit about what like the sleeper thing says, but I just felt fine. I felt good. I was in front of Sexy P with Nico Collins still to play. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's the dehumidifier in the basement bathroom. That's where we're at right now. Like I don't even want to bitch about the divisions because at the end of the day I'm 2-5. I talk about this for a living. I'm in front of you guys. I wanted to do well. I felt like we were on the right track. Maybe I should have just been like, you know what? Fuck everything. I'm keeping Lamar. I'm keeping James Cook. I'm keeping Zay Flowers because my team would be better for the loser bracket. That's just like such bitch-made mentality. I don't know. I went down swinging, dude. It looked like it was gonna work out. We're gonna put up a respectable score that again would have beaten most people, and we ended up in the fucking basement shower next to the fucking loofah, man. Like that's where we're at. The lowest of lows. I don't know. I wanted to do well in this league. We go 2-0. Like you're on top of the world, and now you are sitting, crisscross applesauce in like this like shack of a little shower. But like I just want to play video games and die is kind of where I'm at here. So I don't know. I imagine you guys can relate. Like fantasy football is just like it's a brutal beast. Things don't bounce your way. Joined your already Leaguemates and thought shit was sweet, bro. Thought shit was sweet. Things just did not go our way. So
hey Ron, got a little present for you. Just something for your bathtub.
alrighty. It's the next morning. Just got out the shower, but this sucks.
I feel so bad for Ron. There are not many people in this league that I don't actively root against, right? Like, Ron is one of the few dudes that I don't actually root against. And it was nice when we made this trade because I thought we were coming together and slamming Sexy into the dirt. I took so much pride watching Ron's matchup, thinking that he was about to end Sexy's season and send him to 1-6, and watch Ron save his season. Sexy making the comeback that he did is astounding. But now Ron's going to be 4 games back, entering week 8. Doesn't feel good.
Brutal run out for Ron. Makes the trade to try to win right now. Not only loses, but also loses Jaden Daniels probably for a couple weeks, depending on the severity of the hamstring injury. So he gets rid of Lamar Jackson when Lamar Jackson is about to come back from bye and has to eat that and eat the zeros from Jaden Daniels. So brutal stretch from Ron. I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome this one.
Ron probably not doing okay. He went all in this week on a trade to win this week and didn't work. And now for the rest of the season, Travion Henderson, who has on Sunday 2 carries for 5 yards, will have to be in Ron's starting lineup every time moving forward.
All right, Ron, we really wish you could have stepped up here.
Ron made that trade. Jaden Daniels got hurt, got taken out. So Ron's on window watch for sure. He's been talking in the group chat and he's not feeling great.
If I had to get my ass beat by Jack and lose Jaden Daniels in the process, I would be feeling like Ron right now. I'd be feeling like I need to drown myself in anything possible, in alcohol, in the shower, whatever is most convenient.
But Ron, big trade, gets Jaden Daniels. He's already hurt. He's down bad.
It's one thing to like lose a fantasy football matchup in your home league with your buddies or just like in general, but it's another to have to answer to like 20,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel, and it just sucks so bad. I think the leading story of this video is going to be, of course, the trade me and Tony made, and I'm kind of anticipating a lot of like hindsight of Ron, you're an idiot. Like, why would you do that? I still think that it was sound process. Of course, Jaden Daniels gets hurt, but there's a world where Jaden Daniels doesn't get hurt. He drops like 30 to 40 versus the Cowboys. What I'm trying to say is there's a world where I beat Sexy P, I'm 3-4, and Joe is 5-2, and I probably feel the best about my playoff chances since I was like 2-0. So I tried my hardest. You know, would my team be in a better spot now if I had Lamar and all those guys? Sure, but I'd still be 2-5 fighting against a 5-2 Joe rest of the season. So that'd be a better spot than what I am in right now. But the best case scenario is the one I shot for, where Jaden Daniels doesn't get hurt. Jaden Daniels balls out. We get a win over Sexy, and we're 3-4 behind a 5-2 Joe. Only like 2 games out of a playoff spot at that point. So I tried. I swung for the fences. I said it yesterday that I knew I was losing the trade at face value. I just needed to try and win this week. That's where we're at. In terms of guys I'm beating in the projections right now, why not, you know, be salty here? But we would have beat J-Mo, Adam, Joe, Casey, Nate, Tony, and Gut. So like the 140 piece that we're projected for would have been good to win most weeks. Of course, Sexy gets a 160 spot. He gets 39 from Bo Nix, 22 from Rogers, only 12 from Jefferson. He got it from everywhere else this week. Good for him though. Like, his bad luck was supposed to run out here anyways. I think just like based on, again, how this playoff format is, I just felt like I had to try and do whatever I could to win this week. And I did. So that's just what it is. Now Jaden Daniels is hurt, and really all I care about at this point is Jaden Daniels being healthy for the toilet bowl stretch. But it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, you can't go 2-5. It is what it is. Just like go back to 2-0. I'm just like, what the hell happened, man? I know everyone else is gonna be like, Ron's like an idiot. Like, I don't really get what that trade did for him. It's like, I needed a win. In most cases, it would have been enough to get me a win. I didn't just lay down and accept going 2-5. I tried to fight it. But at the end of the day, I'm 2-5 and probably don't deserve a playoff spot. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Judge Sexual Patterson, 164 points, gets his second win in a row after starting 0-5. He's going to be like 1 game back, maybe 2 games back from, 2 games back from a playoff spot, but by no stretch of the imagination is he out of the playoff picture after a brutal start.
Shout out Sexy for getting a dub. Way to come back. That was absolutely nuts. Bo Nix coming back was absolutely insane.
Mr. Sexual Patterson, our benevolent and Canadian commissioner, who makes all the right decisions. He made a great decision this week in defeating Ron.
It is tragic to see that Sexy is still alive.
Judge Sexual made a power move by coming from behind and just absolutely dominating him, putting him in the bathtub, stuffing Ron's substitute teacher ass in the bathtub.
Sexy put up 164 points against Ron. Sexy changed his name to the Executioner. I guess Sexy is back.
Looking at the rest of the league, Sexy is now on a 2-game win streak, and he's changed his name in the league to the Executioner.
Oh, Ron.
First, as a wise man once said, I beat the piss out of your mule boy in Gut. And now you think you can do what it takes to take down the Executioner? The League Executioner? No. It doesn't matter how many players you trade for. The Executioner cannot be stopped. If you are on the brink of elimination, I will end you! Your season is over, just like Guts last week, and I won't stop until I've eliminated everyone. I sent Gut into a depression. I put Ron in that bathtub. And you know who's next? Casey Settlement. Everybody disrespected the Executioner, and look what I did. 160 fucking points. This season is far from over, ladies and gentlemen, and we are just getting started. Everyone can keep crying, the rules this, divisions that, while the Executioner slowly moves on up in the standings without being seen until got that playoff spot on lock.
Humble yourself. But I do like giving flowers when flowers are due. Sexy's wide receivers got real attractive all of a sudden. Jay Jettis, Keenan Allen, two guys that have been good. Jay Jettis, that guy. Keenan Allen's been nice with Herbert. T. Higgins now with Joe Flacco. Xavier Worthy back in the lineup. Tyler Warren as probably the tight end 1 right now in fantasy football. Maybe McBride, either way, like they're neck and neck. Bo Nix is a fucking dog. I do think he's still got holes at RB1, RB2, and QB2. Alvin Kamara, Kamani Vidal, Aaron Rodgers, but right now, the rest is enough, and it does look good. But looking at the rest of the league, Nick versus Nate, beatdown. Unk is looking good.
Nick's team looks phenomenal right now. Even with Rico only splitting the touches, it's like Pickens now, even with CD back, he had multiple chances at touchdowns even. Like they're going to keep giving him those shots. So like you got to start him every week. Jamar Chase obviously played like he was on crack.
Unk Steen coming off his win streak here. He's like on a 3-game win streak after this Rico Dowdle pull. Coming in defeating Nate.
Big Unk taking down Nate, putting up another good performance. Rico coming back down to earth a little bit. Jamar Chase would be, Jamar Chase numbers for the number 1 overall pick, 38 points.
Nick rolled Nate. Nick's team's good. Nick's team is real nice. Matthew Stafford is throwing 500 touchdowns a single game. It doesn't look like absurd on paper. Like there's definitely some nice pieces of it. Devon A-Chain stands out. Jamar Chase obviously stands out. But the team just feels safe. This is the exact opposite of what I was saying like a month ago about Nick's team. But it just feels like it will consistently put up 140, 150 points. So
Week 7 in the books. We're officially halfway through the regular season for fantasy. So, the contenders are starting to rise up. The pretenders have cement tied to their feet, and they're sinking all the way down right now. It's starting to take form, what we're seeing for the playoff picture right now. Wiped Nate clean, flipped his red curly hair fucking upside down and used him like a mop this week. We're going to put up another 160 type of week. So Uncle Steen just continues the hot streak. I believe we're on a 5-ish game win streak, maybe a 4-game win streak or whatever. I will say the one really bright spot for my team right now is where I was lacking a lot of confidence in Jamar Chase after Joe Burrow went down, obviously. With Joe Flacco, I mean, you watch those games and Flacco's like, I don't know any of the plays. So every play is just going to be throw the ball to Jamar Chase. So it does look like I have at least 8. I'm assuming some down games are going to come from Joe Flacco, but their schedule lightens up pretty dramatically over the next 8 weeks compared to what they just went through with Jake Browning. So I think I got at least 85 to 90% of Jamar Chase, the wide receiver 1, back, which is cool. He is the wide receiver 1 actually overall in fantasy again after last week's explosion. So that's kind of hype.
This was the only time I would find myself rooting for Nate, and he could not come through. So that was a little depressing too.
Nate's got Tua, put up negative 1.4 points. That's not great.
Checking in after getting beat up by Nick this week, I am actually remarkably positive after all that. We kind of saw coming. Nick is wagging right now. Get the bad out of the way. My quarterbacks, you will never win in fantasy and Superflex scoring 3 points and treating your quarterbacks. It's just not going to happen. That being said, CD's back. Cowboys look great. If we can turn the quarterbacks around, we get Josh Allen back. Hopefully after the bye, he's feeling like a new man because, like I said, those last couple games, not really doing what we need to do. We have a chance to get right back in things. We go from 4-0 to 4-3. That sucks. Do not want to overlook anyone by any means. But next 2 games, Ron and Gut. I am not chalking up them up to wins by any means, but we get Ron next week, Gut the week after that. If we can just keep getting healthy, keep making little tweaks, and our guys start showing up, we could easily get right in these next 2 weeks and then just worry about it from there. So yeah, I feel like maybe a little negative the last 2 weeks, just the way things were going. We get blown out this week, and I'm feeling better than I have. Room for improvement. Tons of room for improvement. We're not playing a league juggernaut next week. Let's just get right. Let's just turn things around, right the ship.
The rest of the Pookie Bear division, so we had the big trade between Ron and Tony. I felt like Mike Tomlin in that situation where I'm like, what are we doing putting this guy in my fucking division here? You know what I mean? With Joe Flacco. So Tony now has Lamar Jackson. His team is going to be good going forward. I'm just hoping that I've built enough of a cushion that he won't be able to catch me, even though we have the whole second half of the season. I'm going to be up 2 games by record. I'm going to be 5-2. He's going to be 3-4. But I also have a massive points for tiebreaker over basically everyone in the league except for Jack right now, which is huge. So it's basically me having a 3-game lead over Tony. So a 3-game lead over a 7-game span. We'll see. The other good part about our league is because we have division play set up, we all do play against each other again the last 3 weeks of the season. So I will have a chance to catch JMO if our records are really close there by beating him. I'll have a chance to put Tony out of his misery by beating him at the end, but also vice versa. There's been a lot made about the divisions over the last few videos. Listen, I get it. You're put in a bad spot last time. That was me last year. I was playing against JMO and Tony and Casey, who all had really strong teams last year, and I felt like my team was good, but I couldn't get it because of the division. These were rules that we knew going into the year, and we all had a vote on whether or not we wanted to change it, and we didn't do it. So I feel like that needs to be put to rest until the end of the season. And like this is pointing towards Gut, but it's also towards Ron. It's also towards anyone at the bottom of their division. Like, sure, you might be far off from the top two guys, but again, you play those top two guys at the end of the year. So if you take care of business, like in a perfect world, the way you come back and get back into second place in your division, of course, you have to win out and you have to dominate for the remainder of the season. But you also get to play both of the top two seeds. You get to play the third seed. So if you sweep your division, and they all have to play each other as well. So you could tack on at least one, if not two more losses to all of those teams, because it's just a fucking orgy of playing against each other. So it's like you're expecting these guys to lose to each other, and then you also need to win. So it's not like you don't play them again. Like, you have the chance to impose your will and come back because you play these teams.
Tony lost this week anyway, so I'm kind of glad. Like, Tony now with Lamar is going to really put the pressure on JMO and Nick here.
Tony made the trade this week that we knew he probably was going to lose this week, so that's not big of a deal. You guys on bye.
All right, so for a dude who just got his ass beat in a fantasy matchup, I'm actually feeling pretty good right now. I think I avoided disaster, and I think there was a much worse outcome that could have happened this week, which is why I'm feeling kind of positive right now. So, as I mentioned, Jack's team is a fucking wagon. It is so ridiculous the amount of points he is putting up. Everything's going well for him. Not only does he have the three-headed monster, but Rashee Rice is back. Drake May is playing like he's Josh Allen. Even Michael Pittman is a really good play. And then Trey McBride all of a sudden can get in the end zone now that Kyler Murray is gone. So I don't know how you stop Jack's team. I think we're all just kind of hoping and praying that like he suffers multiple injuries. I don't know how Jack's team's going to get stopped, but I just know that in fantasy, whoever is the hottest at week 7 is usually not the hottest at week 17. And that's just kind of what we're banking on at this point. It was a good week to punt, but I am moving forward in this season with Lamar, Zay, and James Cook all post-bye and ready to roll. And the other disaster avoided was swapping out Jaden Daniels for Lamar Jackson. I'm feeling good because of that trade. I wasn't going to win anyways. I think I got stronger. I avoided a Jaden Daniels disaster. I would be here sweating my balls off, hoping that Jaden Daniels is not going to miss any time. So I feel good about the team.
Now, Jack, 199. He can't get to 200. You can't talk to me. You can't see me. I can't hear you. I won't acknowledge you until you hit 200. Legit, not even that impressive of a week by you. Imagine not topping 215. Couldn't be me. I couldn't even fathom that.
Nick's team, Jack's team, just feel like they're on different levels. And honestly, Jack's team might be even on an even more different level. It's just crazy.
Tony versus Jack. Beatdown. Jack's looking good.
Obviously, Jack's team balled out. The running back room is absolutely disgusting.
Jack is absolutely nuts. There's like this weird sentiment around the league that like, oh, Jack's team, it's like fragile. It's not that great. Okay, maybe. But like until then, he's just going to drop 200 every week. Like McCaffrey, JT, and Bijan is just absolutely nuts.
Jack putting up 200 points again. Jeez, dude. And he got Rashee Rice back. I'll say it now. He goes on and wins the chip with one loss. I don't see this man losing again. Obviously, if somebody gets hurt, it's a whole different discussion. But if his team stays healthy, fucking put his team down in like the greatest teams in league history.
Obviously, Jack's team is amazing.
Happy Victory Monday. Another win for the three-headed monsters. Although Bijan Robinson, 21 points out of you, not good enough. We have standards at this organization. Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne combined for only 8, and we missed the 200-point mark by half a point. Unacceptable, fellas. Unacceptable. I'm not getting greedy. I am not getting greedy here. I know we've got a couple holes. Mac Jones is going to be back to the bench. Kendrick Bourne doesn't look like he's a full-time starter. Ridley with the hamstring. Ward played a little better, but still only 10 points. Gonna have to hit the waiver wire. Still have some fab. Gonna hang on to my guys. But the reason I'm pissed off for greatness today is because the bitching about divisions is a fucking embarrassment. It is a stain on this incredible league that we call your idiot Leaguemates. First off, last year, the top 6 records in the entire system, in the standings, made the playoffs. It just happened to be that 2 came from each division. Next, have some divisional pride. These rivalries, these matchups should matter. Next up, your team's 1-6, your team's 2-5. I don't really give a shit that you feel like you don't have a chance to get to the playoffs. Look yourself in the mirror. Look, I got a mirror right here. Do you want me to ship it to you? Look yourself in the mirror. Should you even have a chance at 1-6? What type of fucking participation trophy ass society are we living in that you at 1-6 are being like, I don't have a chance to make a run to the playoffs? Whose fucking fault is that? By the way, maybe the punishment isn't fucking good enough. It's not harsh enough. Remember, the entire point of having a punishment is to keep a storyline for all 12 teams. And last year, we had a great punishment. Joe didn't want to do it, so he cops out. And then this year, we do a punishment that's like walk tip to tip in Manhattan. It's not even a good fucking punishment. If the punishment meant a lot, then Gut wouldn't be saying, oh, I don't have a chance to make a playoff. He'd be saying, holy shit, I'm about to lose the consolation bracket, which means I have to do this horrible punishment. So think about that for a second. The blaming of the divisions, and then credit to Ron. Ron made a move. He went for it. He understood. But sitting on the couch bitching about fucking divisions when your team is 1-6, yeah, it's our fault. It's actually the division's fault that you're scoring 89 points this week. I had 3 players who totaled more than 89 points. It's the divisional situation. That's the problem. Your fucking team has no chance if you score 90 points. The only chance you have is if we create a solo division for you. Then you can get into the playoffs. Stop the fucking bitching. Take that motivational speech you had 2 weeks ago and try to avoid the punishment. If I had to propose any new mid-season rule change, I would propose a new, tougher punishment so the bottom of the barrel, scrub-ass, fuck-ass teams that I have to watch, bitch, day in, day out, and ruin the content. No, you're ruining the content with your fuck-ass attitude. Suck it up and fucking man up. That's the message.
Gutters takes another brutal loss. He's going to go to 1-6, only put up like 85 points in this one.
I don't know what to say about Guts' team other than it just doesn't score a lot of points. So RIP to Gutters.
This is not really pointed at Gut. He was bitching a little and saying his team was good, but this is more for the comment section who was like, fix the playoff standings. Guts out because of the way the playoffs work. There is not a league format unless it was every single team gets into the playoffs, that Guts' sorry-ass team would have made the playoffs. Like, why are we making excuses for Guts' team? It's atrocious. Some people are, like, buying into the just because JMO is rating him 4th in his power rankings, like, Guts' team sucks. The points for says that his team sucks. His record says that his team sucks. And everyone's like, change the way the playoffs work. Guts not making the playoffs in any format. I understand I'm not making the playoffs in any format, but you don't hear me bitching and crying in the comment section begging that I put some fucking scrubs in.
Gutters. 73 points.
All right, so weekly recap. Clearly, team didn't come out like we wanted to. Had a few disappointing things with the receivers. JCM did perform in a high-scoring total game. But the conversation here is not this. It's Jack calling me straight out and pretty much calling me and attacking me personally. So let's talk about the context of what the fuck he was even saying. Because clearly he just watched a clip.
For someone who says they have zero chance, you're fighting really hard for how good your team is.
I think my team's really good, but
then
I'm
maybe fucking fight for the rest of the season. Maybe try to win fucking games.
He just watched a clip, and that's okay. You can watch a clip, but you don't get full context out of a clip. Because what he said and what Jack is saying is that I just have a bad 1-5 team, 1-6 team. I need to look in the mirror, yada, yada, yada. Right? Realistically, the conversation at hand had nothing to do with me not owning up to having a bad team and bad spot. I talked about that, and I literally admit, like I said it on camera, like with Nick and everything, of like, yeah, my team is 1-5. It's not a good spot. Like, I'm not in a good spot right now. I also admitted, hey, I voted for the divisions. I've said that multiple times. Like, I voted for these divisions, not knowing how this would play out. Right? I had no idea when obviously we have some idea, but like we don't know going in of like the 2 powerhouse dynamic in a division. We just didn't know how that would work out. And then adding the toilet bowl was a big point of the conversation that Jack seems to let out of his mind. And then he just goes straight to, oh, we don't have a part of punishment. It has nothing to do with the fucking punishment. Like, last place is still last place. It still sucks. You don't want last place. Obviously, that's not, like, the bad part. He's blaming it on the punishment, blaming it on whatever. Like, there's everything that he could possibly blame it on my character. He's blaming it on every single thing possible. But what I was actually talking about was the dynamic between the toilet bowl and the divisions is just not a good combo. Reason being is when we have these sort of situations where we have two powerhouse teams where they're both 6-1. And now me and Ron are in a spot where we would have to possibly win the hell out and they would have to lose like 4 or 5 games for us to even have a chance at being in the playoffs. Okay, so realistically, we don't have any real shot unless some drastic thing happens. Therefore, we then have to sit with our dicks in our hands until the toilet bowl, because record really doesn't matter outside of maybe a bye week in the toilet bowl. But at the end of the day, if you're going to win the toilet bowl, you're going to win or you're going to lose. Again, that's just how it is. You're going to win or you're going to lose. And maybe you could prep your team for the toilet bowl then. Maybe I could just go out and trade for guys for week 15, 16, 17. I could possibly do that. Still have yet to be seen. But for now, we have this weird middling ground where it's just a waiting period. Like, it's just you're playing spoiler until then. That's what I'm going to have to do going forward is just play spoiler. But, like, there's no, oh, I'm avoiding last place now because the toilet bowl is a thing. And then now it's like, okay, but I'm not making playoffs. So what am I doing for the next 5 or 6 weeks? Like, oh, the punishment wouldn't matter because I still have the toilet bowl to play. So that was the dynamic I was talking about. And that's what me and Nick talked about outside of the 2-minute clip that you saw. So that was the conversation I had. And obviously, I'm bringing up things in the league that have been talked about throughout the league and throughout everybody's talked about this concept. But when I bring it up, because I'm a bad team, I'm apparently the biggest pussy and I need to look in the mirror, according to Jack. Also, Jack came at me and was like, oh, well, Ron made a move and you didn't. I respect Ron. I know Ron made a move. I made a move 2 fucking weeks ago or 3 weeks ago with you, Jack, with you to make my team better. And it wasn't just a move. It was a huge move. It was a 4-piece move, let alone to change my team. But when Ron does it, he's, going after. He's gritty. But when I do it weeks ago to try to do that same thing, I'm just, you bitching, you didn't do enough. You're not trying. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, shut the fuck up. You're like, oh, everybody hated me because I was talking to us. No, it's because you do shit like this and take shit out of context. Like, stop trying to be the big man on campus because your team's good in fantasy and, like, one-up me as a person and call me a fucking pussy when I'm just talking about real shit. That's just what the conversations are. And even people in the comments are saying the same thing. Obviously, last year ended up where the top 6 teams were top 6 teams. And that could happen this year. You never know. Realistically, though, right now we just have 2 powerhouse teams in one single division. If this was JMO's division, if this was JL's division, it would be the same concept. It's just the concept of what I'm talking about, of the middling ground between 2 things. That's it. It's not like I'm sitting here and saying, woe's me, I fucking am this and that. It's like, it just is what it is. Like, I could trade for everybody in the league right now. And it's just like, unless you and or Joe have like bad whatevers, that's just it. I've accepted that. And the fact that I accepted that, everybody's hating me now because I'm accepting the fact that I have to be in this middle ground now, which is okay. Like, it doesn't, like, I'm just going to have to play spoiler and hope I can win every week, whatever that. I said multiple times, I still believe in my team. I still think my team can end up winning ball games. I'm just stuck in the middle ground. That's what it is. It just is what it is. And at the end of the day, that's the end of the conversation. So you coming out, or Jack coming out and calling me a pussy and saying I'm not a man or I need to look in the mirror. He literally said, like, I need to man up. It takes a man to be able to own up to everything that's happening. Like, that's what I'm doing, is I'm owning up to every single thing. Like, yeah, my team is not good. I'm understanding that. I've said that now. Like, I think my team on paper is good, right? And I like my team, but we just haven't performed. We haven't been there. We haven't done what we needed to do to win ball games. I understand that. But you coming at me about my character, and you never even talked to me about it, like, in person. Like, you just never came. Like, you just put it on the internet. And that's it. Like, that's the end of your piece, Like, that's insane. But you guys now are seeing it all live and unfold. But so that's my thoughts, and that's how I've handled the situation. Nonetheless, I'll quickly go through some other teams right now. JL came out, had a great week. We just did not. But it's looking like I'm going to score roughly about 95 to 100. He's going to score roughly about 140 to 150, somewhere in that range. We'll see how that plays out. Shout out JL for getting the dub.
JL's going to get another win. He keeps getting it done. We just got a bunch of guys that get it done. You know what I mean? Like,
JL has Quinshon Judkins, and he just looks like he ran the ball 25 times. Jeez. And 3 touchdowns. Oh my gosh.
JL versus Gut, beat down.
What up, baby boys? JL from the Big Cavs of Destiny here. It's Monday morning, week 7. We're coming hot off a matchup with Guttas. But it ain't over. We still got some Monday night players left to play, but it's looking good for the Big Cavs of Destiny so far, all right? And for the last few weeks, Gut has just been talking mad shit to me about how my wide receivers are so bad that I must be the stupidest motherfucker to have picked them. And I'm here to tell you, Gut, Where have all your wide receivers gone this week, brother? But Gut still got some players left to play too. We still got Jameson Williams. We still got Mike Evans. Gus still has Tez Johnson and Woody Marks left to play, his favorite. We all know Woody Marks could just score like 50,000 points, you know? We're not counting any chickens here. It's still TBD. All right, this dub ain't secured yet, but we're going to secure it tonight, that's for sure. And the boys did pretty well. Cavs of the Week award has to go to Quinshon Judkins. You don't need wide receivers when you got Quinshon Judkins scoring 3 touchdowns. Dang, man, they told me he didn't have legs. They told me he was going to get suspended. They said I was stupid for drafting him where I drafted him because he's about to get suspended and spend the rest of his life working at a Burger King. Well, guess what? Wrong. He's going to be scoring touchdowns for me the rest of his life because he's the man. Let's go. Leaving out all the other personal stuff, all the character issues. Not commenting on that. Another interesting start-sit question from this week is between the very, very controversial Dallas Goedert or Mason Taylor. Turns out neither of them were really the choice. They both scored less than 8 points. Mason Taylor did end up scoring 2 more points than Dallas Goedert, so it ended up being the right move. But I knew I was about to get clowned if I benched Dallas Goedert. After all this controversy, I benched Dallas Goedert, and then he just goes off again. I would be cooked. I would for sure be cooked. So, yeah, this week is looking okay. We're looking okay. Tuesday morning, post-Week 7. Week 7 is now in the books, and the Cavs of Destiny come away with the dub against Guttas. I'm sorry, Guttas. I'm sorry. Guttas is so sad. He changed his avatar to a sad Killua, a sad anime character. Sad, so sad. Gut, someone check on Gut. That man is sad. But it did not go the way we thought it did. This dub did not get secured the way that we were hoping. Yesterday, when I was talking to you about the Monday Night Football sweat, that wasn't a sweat. That ended up being a sweat. If you recall, Gut still had 2 people left to play: Woody Marks, and at the time it was Tez Johnson. Now, last minute, Gut switches out Tez Johnson for Emeka Egbuka, which ends up being the wrong move. But it doesn't matter because I also made the wrong moves, apparently. Both of my guys, Jameson Williams and Mike Evans, both laid up bricks. Both laid up goose eggs 0.00000000. I come on here talking all my shit about my wide receivers. Gut, where's your wide receivers at? And then Mike Evans goes and breaks his freaking body again. Are you kidding me, Mike? Are you kidding me? You're just back. For the first time, you got to get your 1,000 yards. And you come back and you lay out for that pass. And you freaking break your head. You break your shoulder. You break your freaking body, bro. Take care of your body. That is not a veteran play. Not at all. Come on. So now we don't got Mike Evans for the season. We're back to the drawing board. We're back to square one. We need wide receivers again. Fuck. But in other good news, J-Mo defeating Adam, or about to defeat Adam, not counting chickens, but about to defeat Adams. That's good news.
I feel bad for Adam because, like, again, on paper, the team isn't bad. It's just, like, holy shit, unfortunate situations with, like, Genty, Marv not being able to get going. Even when you start out with Flacco with 25, Cam Scatabo has a good day. Rome just shits the bed. That sucks for him. J-Mo just keeps finding ways to get it done. His fantasy defense is absolutely elite, and you love to see that.
But J-Mo keeps winning, man. I cannot catch him. No matter how many points I score, it's like I'm just out of breath when I get to him. He just stays one step ahead. I thought he was going to get a Mickey Mouse win, so I was going to come on here and complain about it, but he ended up putting up like 130, 135. So that's a deserved win. We won't say anything right now, but if he gets another win where he puts up 100 points, I'm going to lose my shit.
I was watching very little of that preview. J-Mo having zero faith that his team could win, but also just acknowledging that his team just finds a way to get it done, was the perfect summary of J-Mo in fantasy. His team, I mean, it's not even actually close against Adam. He was so worried about this week, and rightfully so. I mean, you didn't have Puka this week. You've been not having Neighbors. Anytime Adam sits Devontae Smith, it looks like he's Alabama Devontae Smith. So for Adam's sake, I would probably just trade away Devontae Smith because he's never going to work in your lineup, and then you're always going to hate that he blew up on your bench. So you might as well give that issue to someone else. Maybe for Geno Smith. Who's the crackhead in that trade?
J-Mo somehow fucking gets another win, even though he was like projected to lose again. Chris Olave putting up 26 points, and then Herbert putting up 27 spot versus Adam. I mean, I guess Adam, I don't really know if he has a chance. J-Mo's got Kenneth Walker going up against Amon-Ra and Cade Otton, I believe. Yeah, J-Mo won that. I'll write that in. I'll pencil it in.
Fuck J-Mo. His team fucking sucks. And he thinks he knows more than he does, but he doesn't. And both of his fucking quarterbacks that he think are top 5, his guys, Herbert and Love, both fucking suck. I don't care what the fantasy points tell you. They both fucking suck. Herbert fucking sucks. Herbert fucking sucks. Oh, the O-line. Herbert sucks. Sorry he's not playing with the 2 best tackles in football. Herbert sucks.
Okay, week 7 recap. It's not over yet. Right now I'm up 39 points on Adam with Kenneth Walker, and he has Amon-Ra and K-Dot. Hoping this doesn't come down to a sweat. Amon-Ra has put up 39 himself before. Bucks lines have a high game total. K-Dot, when 2 of the 3 are out between Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Emeka Egbuka, is usually that guy. But I'm not going to be that guy that is just like, oh, there's a chance. Like, no. 94% chance is what Sleeper says. I feel like that's about right. I'm up 39. I have a running back. Even though he's probably not going to score a touchdown, he should give me 8 points, put it up to 47, and then hopefully Amon-Ra and K-Dot don't combine for 47 points, and we move on to 6-1. But looking at the rest of the league, Joe versus Casey. This is about a 50-50 to me. Joe's up 4, okay? He's up 4, but he's got Baker and Gibbs. Casey has JSN and Goff. That is risky. Also, Casey does have Darnold. Right now he has Goff in the starting lineup, but he could go all in and put Darnold in and just have JSN and Darnold. Curious if he'll make a change there. I know Joe is about kicking and punching the air right now that he started George Kittle over Zach Ertz because everyone swore this week, George Kittle, first game back, must start. Thought that was bullshit. And now he sat Zach Ertz, who put up 12 points. Not the biggest game, but when you have 0, that's big.
Joe is moving to 6-1 probably. I guess Casey can still kind of pull off this dub.
So the last matchup here is kind of interesting from my perspective. Joe looked like he was going to beat the shit out of Casey. Now they're going into Monday night with the projections 56% in favor of Joe. It's just a complete toss-up at this point. So don't know how that's going to work itself out.
Looking like the closest matchup might be Casey and Joe. That's a good matchup. So maybe Casey does get away with this one.
Either way, I'm pulling for Joe heavy because Casey's in my division. Casey, once again, started a guy that put up 0 points at wide receiver. Bad manager. Bad manager. Bad manager. Fucking awful manager. However, even sometimes bad managers win.
8 p.m. Sunday, your boy's moving to 1-6 on the season. I got a bunch of things to say. We'll just go top to bottom. Justin Fields obviously was not playing well, but I think it's hilarious that Jets fans, the Jets coaches, not Jets fans, but football fans as a whole, were like calling for Tyrod Taylor to go in. And then you see what happens. This isn't a Justin Fields problem. No quarterback, except for like the best of the best, is succeeding in this offense. The play calling is atrocious, especially once Garrett Wilson goes out. Your number 1 is Mason Taylor and Reynolds. So that's ridiculous, but probably should have started Darnold. Writing was on the wall a little bit for Fields, but I thought he could get it going against a Carolina defense. But the play calling is atrocious. On to the next. Saquon, as your first round pick, he sucks. Jacobs, great trade. JSN yet to play. Booty, great pickup. McCaffrey, I said that was a great pickup. He dropped a 0. Third time this season, I have a 0 in my lineup, just not good enough. Ferg, 22 points. He continues to be my GOAT. I just feel bad because I'm wasting Josh Jacobs, I'm wasting JSN, and I'm wasting Ferg. They deserve better. The worst thing is Terry McLaurin. I would have rathered him just be out for a month and that be announced from the start, similar to CD. The way Gut could get off CD because he couldn't afford. If McLaurin was out for a month, someone in Nate's position, someone in Jack's position might have bought him. But every week, he has a chance to play. So I held on to him 4 weeks, and he hasn't played for 4 straight weeks. Tough season. Again, I'm still top 6 in points 4. Not that that gets you much, but the team's not bad. I always thought I had a chance. I think I'm unfortunately moving forward under the impression that we're fighting to not get last place, and that's okay. I feel confident with my team in the toilet bowl because it's a solid team, and I also feel confident that I'm not going to finish in the bottom 2 so that I won't get essentially a reverse bye later into the toilet bowl. So yeah, that's the current situation. Who do I want to win this league, honestly? Hopefully Nate. Well, I don't really want to see Nate win. More if Jack win. They're both kind of insufferable, I can't lie. Honestly, I hope Nick wins. He deserves it. He has to put out all his content. People pick up his pickups. People use his draft guide, yada, yada, yada. That's who I'm rooting for. I'm stamping my claim. I want a Nick, Joe, championship.
All right, Monday morning. Did not watch the game last night. I just assumed when I woke up, I was like, all right, I'm probably up 20 points maybe. Drake London probably got 15 points and George Kittle probably got 10 points or something like that. Nope. It's the second time this year I've had a tight end drop 0 points. I gotta go watch the game to see if he even played. I was really considering starting Zach Ertz over George Kittle. I had a gut feeling that I probably should start Zach Ertz. That's on me for not going with the gut feeling of starting Zach Ertz, which he got 12.7 points. And currently my matchup with Casey is 73-69. So I got a 4-point spot right now going into a Monday Night Football. The rest of the team, we just putting up 8 balls. I have 3 players over in double digits. Everybody else got 0, 8, 8.2, 8.5. By the time this Monday night 10 o'clock game starts, I will know how much JSN has to not put up. So projections right now is 110 to 106. Team's always been coming up clutch, but I guess we'll see if we have another clutch performance on Monday night. But it's a Monday Night Football matchup where my team is in another close matchup. That means we are going to the betting gods for help, taking all of my players unders so they go over, and taking all of Casey's players overs so they go under. Chess, not checkers. I just gotta say something real quick. Why the fuck are Monday night games starting at 7 o'clock and just fucking everything that I know up? I'm sitting here doing work, editing a video, and the only reason I know that their Monday night fucking football game on is because Sleeper just told me Jamir Gibbs got a 30-yard catch. That's the only reason why I know. In my mind, I'm hardwired fucking to just know football on Monday night starts at 8:05 or 8:20. Why the fuck do we have a 7 o'clock and a 10 o'clock game? I would have missed an hour of football if Sleeper never just fucking sent me a random message saying that Jamir Gibbs got a 30-yard catch. Would have just missed an hour. Would have turned the game out of that second fucking quarter. Get our shit together. One game on fucking Monday night. One game on Monday Night Football is all we need. We don't need 2, 3. The minute we move 3, 4, we're just gonna move Sunday to Monday at this point. That's what it seems like. All right, that's it. Let's go, Baker.
Drive number 1, good start, not great start. Jamir with the 20 or 30 yard catch, which hurt, but then obviously a 27-yard touchdown throw. Gibbs is going to get his throughout the field. If they can be touchdown passes and not rushing touchdowns, or Demont rushing touchdowns, but that's a good start. If Goff stays close to Gibbs, I feel good about JSN being better than Baker. So, good start. Let's keep that going, Jared.
Second quarter, it's not looking great right now. Baker is not being Baker right now, you know? He's getting shit on right now. I mean, after the first drive, it's been pretty shitty. Jamir Gibbs hasn't had any room to... I was just about to say Jamir Gibbs has no room to run. 0 room to run. He's just been getting stopped at the line pretty much. Dude just ripped off a fucking 78-yard touchdown as I was saying that. What the Literally just about to come on here and be like, it's looking rough out here. Jamir Gibbs is carrying my team with catches. He's got a 24-yard catch and a 30-yard catch, but didn't really have much rushing. And as I'm saying that, this dude just runs a 78-yard run to the house. About timing. I got goosebumps. That was crazy. Now I'm up 98-78. It was just 83-73, and I was just about to say that I'm projected to lose now. I'm just watching my projections go down slowly. But now Jamir Gibbs has 10 carries for 106 yards and a touchdown.
It's over. 78-yard touchdown. Good sweat.
All right, Jamir Gibbs, second touchdown. I don't know what it is about Monday Night Football and my luck, but apparently my team just thrives on Monday nights. Jamir Gibbs, second touchdown of the game. This man has 210 scrimmage yards in the third quarter. He's got 36 points right now. That's what a first-round pick does. First it was Kareem Hunt last year. Now it's Jamir Gibbs this year. Monday Night Football. I'm the king of Monday Night Footballs. Lions game just ended. I'm at 121-36 to 79-38. Feeling pretty good. The first quarter is halfway through. In Seattle, JSN has no points. So, saying I have a 99% chance of winning, unless JSN has a legit Jamar Chase type of night. I'm going to move to 6-1. Monday Night Football, Jamir Gibbs coming in clutch, 36.8 points. Shout out to him. Shout out Casey for putting up a fight. Shout out Casey for being 4th in the league for most points scored. You're about to be tied with Gut for least points scored. On to JMO next week with my 2 best players on buys.
All right. So I've thought long and hard today. Am I just going to lay down and accept defeat to Sexy P? But here's the thing. I didn't hear no bell. I didn't hear no final whistle. We got one player for the rest of our lives. We got one player for the rest of our lives. Nico Collins. All I need is 40 PPR points. That has happened 35 different times since 2020. 40 plus PPR points for a wide receiver. Why not tonight? And while I was thinking to myself, I sent my little brother on a mission. I said, go to the weird boutique shop at the mall and tell the lady that I need manifestation crystals. I've heard JMO talk all year. Manifest your own luck. Manifest your own destiny. And that's what I am doing tonight. We have one mission, one goal. Nico Collins, we need 40 points. And here are my crystals. We have the bag, the East meets West shop. And I told my little brother to ask for manifestation crystals. And here's what we got. These are going to go right in the middle of this little thing. I don't know what, I got to probably chat GPT what happens next. But here are my crystals. They're here. They're going to manifest a Nico Collins 40 piece. And I'll check back in with you when I beat the judge.
Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Also, the fun shit down below. We'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.